felt weird to do, to listen to only one side of the headphones and then hum that. Hi, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast.
It sure is, Steve. This first ad was brought to us by Colin Angel.
Yeah, this is an Affinity Cyclone. Holy smokes, that was
got
a lot of words.
Book connected to it.
The story we're told of this
don't read
uniquely
the whole damn
special
thing, please.
Squier, quote, backed by Fender. Is that what they say? Is it backed by Fender? Where's yours? Does it say backed by Fender on it? Is that it's pre-production? Oh, this is that pre-production thing.
Yeah.
Sold during an internal Fender Hollywood employee sale around Q1. As such, you'll notice some unique differences that make this an excellent consideration. We have no consideration for collectors. While we have no...
You can do it, Steve. I believe in you.
Burped up some of that Mexican food from earlier.
Oh, my gosh.
While we have no written confirmation, we believe the indicators on this guitar align well with it being a pre-production or sample unit. The most immediate difference is the color is a deeper blue than a production model. More of a turquoise blue that's deeper than Daphne blue. The bridge assembly, tuning machines, pickups, and fretboard choices appear to be in line with what you'd find on a lower price Affinity series. Notice that the truss rod channel also has no black plastic channel. If we had to guess, maybe Fender was figuring out which level in the line these guitars would ultimately place in. The pickguard has a slightly different shape than the production model with a sharper point on the lower horn. As with these Fender pastels, please note the color in person can vary in appearance. Under the hood, you'll find what appears to be the same pots used in the production model, albeit a mild amount of splicing in the cable. Looks like there was some experimentation. You'll also notice the handwritten net pocket and neck heel markings MSTC and MSC, which are not the usual stamp seen on the production model. The serial number is also interesting in that it seems to predate the serial numbers of the official product shots on the Fender website. If there's a serial number and it predates, are like the numbers on the website like
I don't know.
The absolute first one.
The more important thing here is that they've told us this is an Affinity quality level build, and they want $2,200 for it.
As for quality, we think it fair to consider the guitar in excellent condition. There are all-around light scratches and swirlies that don't show up well in photos. No cracks. Plastic is still on the pickguard. More notable are some scratches between the volume and tone pots. A very slightly scrape on the base side of the neck around the first fret, and slightly deeper finish scuff
We don't care about all that
of the neck pickup, no bigger than a dime.
Skip all that stuff. Let's just look at the pictures of this guitar.
It's blue!
Is the blue one.
What's the shape of the pickguard that this guy's talking about?
I guess it does look a little pointier right there. Like that's such a minor thing. Otherwise, it's kind of the same.
I feel like the lack of point here could even be like a guard to guard. Like it's so slight that I don't even know if I would say like it's different.
I think he's just nitpicking. To me, the big difference is the bridge. It has like the cheapest looking saddles.
Oh, yeah.
And the production model has the punched Squier steel saddles, which I think is way cooler looking. I can't imagine there's actually a collector's market for this worth $2,200 just because this is the pre-production model of a Squier that apparently was done at a lower quality point than the actual production models. Like, what is the point? I feel like at best you can ask, the same price as a production Squier, even though it's below, the quality point, because he says it's built to Affinity quality.
Yeah, you gotta like really be in this.
This is a price for like 100 years from now. If these become like known guitars, like, oh my gosh,
no, that's the problem.
The prototype, this is not a price for now.
It's not even really a prototype because the prototype would have been like the circa 1995 or whatever Fender model.
Right.
Like this isn't a prototype. This is someone at Fender going like, yeah, let's just test this out on the Affinity platform. Oh, it's testing really well in our market research. Let's bump it up to the regular series.
Yeah.
That's probably what really happened.
Exactly. We're laughing because we could hear the toilet flush above us. Yeah, this is bonkers. $2,200. There's no freaking way
Hey, but at least shipping is free.
I mean, the color's pretty.
Pretty blue.
It is pretty blue. I don't know, man. This is stupid. And also, look at the trim block on it. It's that tiny little thin trim block.
Not a tiny trim block?
Kaboom, big old block.
Oh, dang.
On the production model.
Nice block.
That I'm holding in my hands here. Steve had his eye on my block. Yeah, I can't see. You have to be an extreme Squier collector.
You'd have to be an extremely dumb Squier collector.
This really belongs on an auction site rather than Reverb. And then you'll find out the value of it. People will be like, oh, yeah, I can buy the production model for $400 for $399. I guess I'd throw, $450 at this to have, a special one.
Would you say that this belongs in a museum?
This does not belong in a museum. No, this should be left in the tomb with the pharaohs. I do like that color though. I kind of still wish I'd gotten the blue version, but I kind of am tickled pink at the color that I got.
Womp womp.
Wah, wah, wah. I think the Cyclones are really cool guitars.
Yeah.
There's just no reason to
pay $2,200.
If you're gonna pay that much money for a Cyclone, buy 2 of the original ones.
Yeah, right?
Go buy the original ones with the speed stripe on them and the Jaguar pickups. You can get those for about $1,000. Why would you?
Yeah.
Why would you buy?
Are they really that expensive
Yeah.
now? Jeez. Should I sell my jack stang?
I don't think yet. I think you got to wait until people like the Gen X generation are just on the edge of retiring and they have way too much money to throw around.
The problem
and
is
they're ready to live out some nostalgia.
You've played that guitar, right?
Yeah.
It needs a refret, I think.
It has those super tiny little vintage style frets.
But the guy who I got it from was also had monkey grip.
Oh yeah.
That was the reason he was selling it.
Aren't that expensive? They're like $200 or something like that.
Yeah, but it's like $200 on a $500 guitar.
I know. Well, $500 when you had it bought. Now it's probably like a $900
No, it
guitar.
was $250 when I got it.
Well, there you go.
You paid $250 for that.
If you want to sell that thing for $500, maybe I'll buy it from you.
No, I would not sell it for $500. I'd sell it for a top dollar.
Top dollar, he says. Which
501. No, I've been seeing them I've been seeing people trying to get as much as $900 for those.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
All right,
what's new, man?
What's new? What's new? What's new?
I changed pickups in my SG today.
Yeah.
We got the Sonic pickups. I mean, I did a video about it. It's hard to do what's new because I do videos about everything that's new in my life. But yeah, I swapped the pickups, and I think it does sound better. I swapped out GFS pickups for the Sonic pickups, and the bridge pickup is over there. The bridge pickup that was original sounded kind of dull and dead compared to the new bridge pickup. It still sounds kind of like thin and bright the way bridge pickups do on an SG. The neck pickup originally on it was this P90 in a humbucker size sort of thing. And that had a huge bottom into it, which was almost too much. It's distracting compared to the bridge pickup.
Huge.
And so it's just a much better balanced set of pickups now. The neck pickup is plenty warm and creamy. It just doesn't have that huge boom that the P90 had, which makes me want to put that P90 into something that needs a big boom. You know?
Right.
I just haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet. But I think I'm going to probably sell the other bridge pickup or save it for some dumb project or something like that.
Are GFS pickups even worth reselling?
That's a good question. Probably not.
I'm not saying they're bad pickups. I'm just saying they're so inexpensive.
My impression of GFS pickups, because I bought a bunch over the years, is that they are exactly what they're described as being. So read the description and just know this isn't gonna sound, like some sort of high-end cork sniffing sort of pickup. It's gonna sound like the description. Oh, here's a hot pickup with, a thick mid-range or something like that. Yeah. It's going to have those qualities, but it's not going to be, like the fanciest sounding thing you've ever heard in your life. But they work. They're good. If you want to explore various sounds, they're decent. But I'm excited to have a fresh set of pickups from Sonic Pickups in the SG and kind of get reacquainted with that guitar and spend some time, getting it figured out again because I haven't been playing it at all for like a long time. And it was kind of my original guitar that I was using for videos.
Right.
Because it was the most like intonation stable guitar in my collection.
Like one of your first like broad appeal.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though that one was like a repaint.
Because when I first started, I had the Strat, which was like super modified.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Hallmark Swept Wing, which is bonkers.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense for demos. I had the Duosonic, which makes no sense for most demos. I had some other guitars floating around. I can't remember. Oh, I had the
Explorer, and
I had the Explorer, which is another parts guitar. I've always had
you had all these parts guitars.
You know, I had the knockoff lead.
Big Red.
So I had guitars, but the SG was clearly the most normal. Let's demo pedals with this guitar because the rest were just wonky. Because that's my taste, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Delicious.
The vast majority of my early videos were recorded with the SG. So, it'll be nice to have it be part of my quiver again. Or I'll just decide, oh, yeah, maybe I just don't like this SG and I'll sell it.
Oh, man, SGs are sick.
But the problem with that is I'll probably never buy another SG again. Is always my fear. Like,
right.
It's not impossible for me to buy an SG again, but it's also like, will I ever have the motivation to buy an SG
Well, you
again?
also got like such a good deal on that one that it's like
$250.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat that.
I mean, it was just like a body, right?
Yeah.
Well,
no, it had the neck. It had all the parts, but it was taken apart.
Yeah.
So I had to do a full assembly on it. I've had the thought that if I someday get a decent Les Paul that I really like, even if it's not a Gibson brand, like if I get a Greco or something like that, then I'll get rid of the SG because I'll have a solidly Gibson style guitar in my collection. But then maybe I'll love the SG more. It's hard to predict what I'll do.
They're different.
They are different.
SGs and Les Pauls are different.
They are very different. So you have anything new?
Nah.
No, nothing new.
I probably should, but
You watching any shows, any movies or anything?
I just started watching The Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, I'm 2 into it. I'm 2 episodes into it.
Oh, I'm also 2 episodes into it.
Well, don't spoil anything for the people watching.
It's such a weird show because it's so slow. But I can't look away.
I really like that actress. I forget her name, but every time I see her in something, I'm like, yeah, she's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like her acting style is very, it draws you in. It's compelling.
Yeah.
Which is funny because she's very straight faced most of the time.
Yeah. Which I think is part of it. It's like kind of alien.
It is kind of alien. Like I was
Android.
I was thinking I'd like to see her in some sort of sci-fi movie sometime.
Yeah.
And I was feeling kind of gypped the first episode.
Oh, because she's in it for like 5 minutes.
She's in it for like maybe 5 minutes, and like she maybe has a line and a half.
Yeah.
In that first intro, and then it cuts to a child actor playing a younger version of her. And I was like, did they seriously just pay for her to act for 2 hours one day, and then the rest of the series is going to be a child actor, and that was the hook to get you, is to get like a known actress. Yeah. But the second episode, it's her.
But even like she's not super known.
Yeah.
Like,
but if you like chess movies, if you like period pieces, if you like kind of like dramas about orphans and stuff like that,
yeah,
I've just spoiled it for you. You're gonna like this show.
I'm gonna spoil it more. I've been enjoying seeing Harry Melling pop up in random Netflix shows. The guy who's the chess champion in the second episode was Dudley Dursley in the Harry Potter movies.
Oh, I'm not a Harry Potter boy, so I didn't recognize him.
Well, he's Dudley. He's also in. Did you see The Old Guard?
That was the one with Charlize Theron?
Yeah, where she like can't die until she does.
Yeah.
Only she doesn't, I guess.
Yeah.
I just spoiled that one too.
Well, that one's not really worth watching. It's kind of
that one was fun.
It was a junk like Saturday afternoon sci-fi sort of action.
I'd watch it again.
All right. I thought it was kind of lame.
Same premises. And it's a stupid fun.
No, it's stupid fun, but don't go like, oh, Ryan and Steve recommended this movie on Netflix. It feels very like, WB.
They're gonna make a second one, man.
It feels very WB early 2000s Saturday afternoon, or like sci-fi original.
I feel like that's where just a lot of Netflix is.
Oh,
landing.
sure.
I watched the reboot the full trailer for the Saved by the Bell reboot. It's not a reboot. It's,
right.
It's the revival or whatever they call it.
Yeah. I'm not interested. I haven't seen the trailer.
That's a tough one.
I'm not interested.
It's tough.
It belongs in its time. It doesn't belong now.
It definitely.
It almost didn't belong in its time if you think about it. But
yeah, it's. I don't know.
I'm not interested.
And of course, like all of like the old fans are like, where are all the people that went crazy from from the original show?
Oh, you like Screech or something?
Yeah, because like Screech has been in jail a couple times, and like Lisa's like developed like a handful of like mental illness things. So it's like she's not really associated with that. And some people I think some people are like, it's messy because she says she wants to be part of it, but then other people who are close to her are like, yeah, she can't act anymore. Like it wouldn't be good for her. But people are coming out and like in the comment section.
Who cares?
Being all, where are these people?
So, anyways, this episode is brought to you
by Netflix. And Peacock.
Apparently, go ask Grant Wilson what shows you think he thinks you should be watching, because Big Ear Pedals has sponsored this episode.
Yeah, that's right. Big Ear Pedals sponsors this episode. They make such fine pedals as the Albee. Mm-hmm. A multi-modulation because it's multiple modulations. It's not just
modulation, Steve. It's also delays and reverbs.
Those are modulations. They're time modulations.
Oh, my gosh. It's got time-based effects, which are modulated in various ways, and it has other modulations modulating your signal. It's a multi-effect pedal that you don't have to get picky with.
You don't have to put the logo up, Ryan, because
there
it is.
There it is. I'll still probably put the logo up.
Why is it backwards?
Because the screen is flipped around.
I know, I'm just kidding. But they make the Albee, that's their newest pedal. They also make, ones I forgot to name off last episode, whereas Black Betty and Betty White, the one knob fuzz.
Yeah. They're both the same fuzz. They're just different colors, and you should buy them both so you can have stereo fuzz.
One in the front and one in the back. First in the chain.
Oh, I see. Okay. I was like, front and back of what, Steve? What are you talking about all of a sudden?
Signal chain. You gotta be running one in the front and running one in the back.
Listen, if you're running a wet dry rig and you want to run fuzz, you have to run two fuzzes for your wet dry. You have to have a fuzz on your wet, a fuzz on your dry. That's when the Betty White and the Black Betty come into play. Same fuzz on two different amps. And a convenient one knob sort of layout. So go check those out. You'll love them.
BigEarPedals.com.
Yeah.
All right. This first topic was sent to us actually it was just posted by Sandal Andrew John. He says, outlawing pedal hoarding.
Should pedal hoarding be a crime? And what should the punishment be, Steve? Obviously, I'd go to jail. Obviously, you'd go to jail.
If pedal hoarding was a crime.
Or would it be like a finable offense? Oh my gosh. Okay, that's not even all of it, Steve.
No. I'd like to present to the people's Exhibit A, Exhibits B, C, D, and E. Are these all just affordaboards?
These are affordaboard totes.
Get this crap out of here.
You make me sick. Yeah, it's bad. That is like the visual definition of pedal hoarding. When you start keeping them in like Tupperware containers.
Are those new? I don't think I've seen those totes before.
They've been in here. Okay. I've had it that way for a while.
Here's a question I have.
This is only like the third week you've come over here.
That's true. I gotta, but I just thought I would have noticed it. Do you know how many pedals Josh Scott has?
Oh my gosh, thousands, I'm sure.
Like, I just want to know, because this affordaboard thing, I feel like you guys have got to be in the same space.
No, he's definitely got more, because he's got that huge wall of pedals behind him, and I know that's not even scratching the surface.
You have a huge wall of pedals behind you.
No, this is maybe like 1/16 of what's behind him.
Remember when we had a wheel of pedals?
We did have a whole.
Is this where we go to talk about the wheel of pedals?
I was thinking of putting that on a shirt. Is this where we go to talk about the wheel of pedals?
Nobody would get it.
That's what makes it beautiful.
All right. Why not?
If they saw me wearing that shirt around, would think it's a bicycle thing.
I mean, the logo already exists. All you got to do is throw some What's that? What's the font called?
Oh, a Cooper Black.
Cooper Black. Is this where we go to? Is this where I go to talk about? And then the Wheel of Pedals logo, and you're done. Throw it on Teespring.
There you go.
$20.
$20, guys. Now I'm rich because everyone's gonna buy it.
Yeah, there you
go.
go.
What do you think, Steve? What would life be like? What would be the limit? What's like the legal limit as far as pedal hoarding goes before you start getting dragged to court or like the police start fining you?
I'm trying to think of what other products that it's illegal to hoard.
Guns?
It's not illegal to hoard guns.
Well, you start getting the wrong kind of guns, and then the ATF shows up.
Yeah. So is there just like when you have certain kinds of pedals?
I think that if the government caught wind, like this guy's got $1 billion, this guy's got an army's worth of guns. Like it's not. Then
they just start watching.
They would watch you.
Then
they wouldn't prosecute, but you would be on a list. They'd be like, this guy has an arsenal. This dude might be mobilizing a militia. I think
the cops are outside of your house going like, this guy's going to start another. Look at all those pedals. He's gonna start another polyphonic spree.
Who does this guy think he is?
He could be getting ready to go on a polyphonic crime spree.
Can you imagine getting interrogated by the good cop and bad cop, and the bad cop has all these like pet names for you? It's like, listen here, Les Claypool. Like he just starts like throwing out like musician names, and you're like, what? That doesn't even make sense.
Who do you think you are? The Edge? How many rack mount units do you own?
So you get off on tube screamers, huh? You sicko. How many muffs does one man need? Not this many. This is disgusting. You disgust me. And then the other cops have to pull him out. You've gone too far.
They're gonna try to make a grab that fuzz by the muff joke, but I just couldn't.
God,
put it together.
So what is? I'm sure I have more pedals than you. Although you like hide them away. You might have more.
I might have more.
You like buy stuff and then you hide it.
I've definitely bought more pedals than you.
I wouldn't be surprised if you like have a hole in the drywall in your house and you just shove boxes in there until it fills up, and then you plaster it closed, and then you open up a new hole and just start shoving stuff in there.
So I have when we were doing the live stream from home, I've got that shelf behind me. That's like maybe a dozen pedals behind me there. Mm-hmm. And then I have my PT Junior, and I think that has like 10 pedals on it. And then I have when I put my bass board together, that's got like another 3 or 4 pedals on it. And then I've just got a bunch of boxes with pedals in them. And I came over here for that last year, a year ago, to do that live unboxing of the Mr. Black pedals, and I put them back in the bag, and I put the bag back in the closet. I still haven't played them.
Ridiculous. Well, it's not like we're in an environment where we can even like try out pedals right now.
Yeah, and I'm in just doing the
virtual band thing still.
Well, not even that, but like just being in like a tiny house. Like I got now. Granted, I just got the Albi like at the beginning of the week, so I but legitimately like I'm trying to like find a time where I'm like, can I just pull out my Black Star, pull out 2 cables, pull out a power supply, and like plug this in, and I don't know when that's gonna happen. Yeah, just because of like
I have the little Katana battery amp.
Yeah,
that I leave in the living room with just like 2 short cables.
Yeah,
but then it's like,
yeah, but you have.
I don't power a pedal to run into it. I just
Well, you also have like a living room that is like you can be in the living room, and people are going to be in like other parts of the house.
Yes, I usually play around with it on the couch when the kids are in bed, and I play.
My kids don't go to bed.
Yeah, your kids are vampires.
I know.
Happy Halloween last week.
Yeah,
by the way.
Yeah. I dressed up as a podcaster.
Oh, and we know the results of the election now.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations,
future president.
America. Now that we know, we probably don't know yet. is probably still a big mystery. People are probably fighting about it right now. We recorded this a week ago, guys.
We don't actually know if this will get released because there's a lot of speculation that the nation will crumble on November the 5th. Isn't that's the Gunpowder Day, right? Is it the 5th of November?
I don't know.
Gunpowder Day?
I don't know.
National Gunpowder Day? National Explode the Queen
Okay,
Day?
so anyways, getting back on topic. What
constitutes pedal hoarding?
Assuming pedal hoarding becomes a crime, and there's varying degrees of sentencing, which one of us gets the tougher sentence?
I think... Oh, who gets?
And what's the maximum sentence?
It's me. I get a tougher sentence because it's going to be based on pedal usage. If you can,
and also you're doing it just to do it. I have all these pedals because they get sent to me. It's my job.
I mean, some of the ones I bought are because I wanted them. It wasn't like vindictive.
But if you look at it in like drug war terms,
it's not like I bought a ayahuasca to.
You did this, Steve. You enabled the dealers and the the pedal importers that have grabbed this nation into this awful wave of addiction sweeping the country.
I think the only pedal that I've purchased that like people could I won't say rightfully because deal with it, but they're like, oh, you don't even use that is the Rubberneck, which I have used actually fairly recently.
Yeah.
So I think that would be the thing is if in order to not be a pedal hoarder, you would have to demonstrate in a court of law
using it.
Active use within a certain time frame. Now the question is, what is that time frame?
I guess the idea behind hoarding is that you're just stuffing stuff away and it's not serving a purpose. You were just hiding it away and keeping it from being used, or it's become a detriment to you because there's so much of it. I actually sell stuff. Like I try to keep stuff that I think I'm going to make content with, or that I actually want to keep for myself.
I'm just looking back here and thinking though, like how many of these pedals have not been played in the last year?
That might be tricky. There's probably about a dozen on there. I try to keep messing with a bunch of them, and I test out different concepts that I'm going to doing demos and stuff, and I move stuff on and off the board. And honestly, I'm always looking for something to sell. I actually have a big tote up in my office.
There's another tote
full of pedals that I need to sell, but I'm still waiting for the post office to send me the bags so I can sell them. Freaking post office, send me the bags so I can sell things. So what do you think the maximum sentence should be? Should it be death? Should it be life in prison? Should it be
hard labor?
Hard labor? What kind of labor?
You have to do something pedal related. I'm trying to think of what.
I know what it is. You have to serve as a sound tech, a live sound tech. You get sentenced to, like 1,200 hours of community service being the live sound tech at an all ages venue. That's how you pay your debt to society.
There you go.
Yeah. And, then we don't have to actually, officially hire people to be live sound techs anymore. They're just prison labor, and the quality of the work will be about the same.
Oh my gosh. You have to teach other kids how to be YouTubers.
Oh my gosh, that's a disaster. Just go film yourself playing Minecraft, kids. I don't know. You'll be a lot more successful than I am, like overnight. It's a lot easier than what I'm doing.
What other? No, I think it's community service. I mean, this would have to be a post-COVID punishment, but yeah, I think it's community service. You have to be the sound man at the epicenter.
Yeah.
For it's I don't know, like
high school shows.
3 months of every Friday night for 3 months, you're at the epicenter mixing sound for 4 to 6 hours. God.
Mixing sound. Is that what they do at all ages venues now? Pretty sure they just turn it on and
well, it's like mixing
cross their fingers.
It's like mixing in a blender way. You just like sit there and
mixing meaning destroying.
You put all the cards out and you go I'm done. They're mixed.
And you're really just yelling at the guitars to turn down their amp because you don't want to listen to them. Turn it down. I can control it from here. Yeah, it's better if I control it from here. Yeah. Turn it down. Yeah. Oh, God, I can't hear it anymore. Thank goodness.
Yes.
This next ad was sent by Michael Kraus.
Yeah, this is a 1966 Princeton Matsumoku UC3. Super cool looking and great playing, vintage and rare MIJ Jazzmaster Jaguar style electric with upgrades. Best I can tell, this is a nicely refinished 1966 Princeton UC3 made in Japan by Matsumoku. Offset electric. What is this bridge from? This is a style of bridge that I recognize from something else.
It's very kind of like it's trying to be an offset bridge, and I'm sure it is in function, like a Jaguar Jazzmaster bridge. But I've seen that style bridge on various import things.
Is that like is it Yamaha?
No, it's not like the Yamaha bridge. It's fundamentally different in a few ways, but kind of visually similar too, because it's a single piece connected to the bridge, but has the function of a Jazzmaster.
Right. So this has lace sensor. Someone dropped lace sensor pickups in it.
The old school kind, this kind that say Fender on them. See?
Oh, the
Fender lace sensor. Those might be from the Clapton Strat.
Yeah.
Because for a while they were dropping Fender branded lace sensors into Clapton
It's a
Strats.
bummer that there's no obvious logoing on the headstock.
Yeah, there's no badges. I'm almost wondering if it's a refin because I've never seen this.
No, that's what it says. It's a refin.
Oh, it does. Okay, that's why there's no badge on it then. It has the standard made in Japan steel reinforced neck plate on there. That is it's a fairly clean refin, but it looks like it's lived some years. It's got some dents and dings in it. Yeah, I wish I could see the badge. I really like this headstock.
The beveling.
I like there's like a German carved bevel on it.
Yeah.
That the inside bevel is like that Fender Aero headstock shape with the Fender bulb connected to it.
It's really cool. It's sharp.
I like that a lot.
And I feel like it only works because it's a painted headstock. Like if this was wood, I don't think I would like it.
Interesting. What if it was two-tone?
Two-tone, I could do two-tone.
Like if the bulb was black or...
If one part of it was wood and the other part wasn't, that'd be cool. I just think if it was all wood, it just would like...
I don't know. I'd have to see it. What do they want for this? $450?
$450.
The fact that it has kind of, known to be decent pickups in it, it's like an active pickup, right? The lace sensor.
I don't think laces are...
I think those are active.
Always active. Because the Clapton had an active circuit. I don't think the pickups were active.
They don't have to be active, but you could connect them to an active circuit.
Well, you can connect anything to an active circuit. But it's not like EMGs where they're super... Right. Lace, I don't think lace pickups are super low output.
Okay. They're just like a high-tech pickup.
Yeah. I could be wrong.
The fact that someone...
If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments.
Sure. Tell us what we got wrong. The fact that someone dropped those pickups into this and they spent the time to refinish it and it looks like it's been decently well loved makes me wonder if this is a player's guitar. Like for $450, maybe this is a fun one.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a bit pricey for
something fun.
For a wacky import where so many wacky imports can be kind of just a disaster.
Yeah.
Playability wise, they can be cool wall hangers and whatnot, cool lookers, but aren't really giggable. Maybe there's something here to this. I don't know. But $450 might be steep. It might be right on the money though.
Yeah.
It's cool looking. This is a music video guitar. If you're making a music video and you want to look cool in the music video, like this is going to look cool in the music video.
If you're making a music video and you want to look cool, just don't play guitar.
Yeah. Like just hang out on a yacht, drink champagne, look over your sunglasses.
Do a feature with Cardi B.
Yeah. That's how you look cool in a music video. Put on like a big, like weird costume and run around like a weird set that's been designed for you.
Make it old timey.
Like dress up like Wyatt Earp or something.
Maybe you're Tesla and you have to fight Albert Edison.
Albert Edison? Good one, Steve.
I saw this comic that was like, oh yeah, this is a world-renowned scientist, and it's a picture of Albert Einstein, but his brother Frank was just a wacky doctor, because it's Albert Einstein and Frank Einstein, like Frankenstein.
Oh, Frank.
Yeah,
Frankenstein. Steve, it's not
good.
Halloween anymore.
I know.
You can't make
But it's still
Halloween
funny
jokes. I'm
It's a
a little
funny
sad that we didn't make
joke.
last episode spooky.
We
But
could have.
yeah, we could have made it a little spooky.
Adam's
I forgot
Family.
about this one.
Do. Well, we're not there yet.
Have you seen the new Addams Family cartoon?
No.
Like a cartoon movie?
No, is
It's
it good?
decent. It's decent. I mean, it does exactly what you expect to happen in an Addams Family movie. In that, like, there's the Addams Family. They're creepy. Oh, there's the townspeople. They're very square. What's going to happen? They're not going to like each other. Oh, and then they figure it out in the end. You know, it's that same old story, that old chestnut. But they did a really decent job of it. It was a fun watch. I watched it with my kid, and I recommend that as a kid's movie in this spooky time of the year, even though we're inching towards Thanksgiving now. So go look that up, I guess. This is the cinema and TV recommending episode of the podcast, apparently.
This episode is also, that would have been better if I was smoother. This episode is also brought to you by Chase Bliss Audio,
That's
makers
right.
of the Automatone series preamp Mark II. This takes the Benson preamp and makes it a Mark II version, complete with sliders.
That move on their very
And
own.
buttons
I'm
and
moving the
switches.
sliders with my finger right now, but if it was plugged in and powered, I could scroll through those presets and these sliders would be moving around like a spooky ghost controlling it. A haunted pedal. Think about that. A week after Halloween that I missed for some stupid reason. So anyways, huge thanks to Chase Bliss Audio. Go check out their other pedals too. They make amazing pedals. I have not sold a single Chase Bliss pedal I've ever come in contact with.
Wow.
Because I think they're so special. And someday they might pay for my retirement. So I'm keeping them. Invest in your future. Forget stocks and bonds.
Chase Bliss Audio.
Chase Bliss Audio. It'll pay for your retirement from someday. I'm going to have a very small retirement. It's going to last about a week, but Chase Bliss pedals are going to cover it.
Yeah, so with a digital brain and an analog heart, Chase Bliss Pedals makes pedals more creative than you are.
That's absolutely true.
ChaseBlissPedals.com.
Album time?
Album time.
It's album time. Steve.
Yes.
Who chose this album? I'm assuming
I chose this album.
we both chose the last two albums. We didn't hit the inner circle list, so I feel a little bit bad. But I want to know.
I chose this album specifically because you suggested a double album. I actually had already listened to this album this week before I suggested it, and I wanted to suggest something because my work week has been heavy that like I could review.
You already knew.
I could review without looking it up.
Based on what you know about me, Steve, you know what I'm about to ask. Do you think I liked or disliked this album? We haven't even said what it is yet.
I think you liked this album.
So we're talking about The Color and the Shape by the Foo Fighters.
Yes.
And I'm going to say it was very difficult for me to sit and review it, make notes on it, have anything to say about it because I love this album so damn much. Like, it just hit in the perfect time of my adolescence.
Yeah, there you go.
This, connecting nexus of me being a teenager with, feelings and ideas and me learning guitar at the same time. And this being an album that is just defined by simple but unforgettable, powerful riffs.
Right.
Huge dynamic shifts across the album that work in huge creative ways, and vocal melodies that are riffs in themselves. Like, this is it's hard for me to like be objective because it was such a powerful album for me in my youth, and listening through it today, I was like, holy hell, this album is too freaking good. Jeez, what do you even say about it? But it really might just be, something from your youth. I'd be interested to know from the commenters, like, Do you think this album is a bummer? Do you think it's dumb? It doesn't hit you the same way it hits me? Because damn, it hits me hard.
Well, like I said, I picked this album because I could review it without needing to listen to it. I had already listened to it this week. I didn't have to go back to it. One thing, I was talking about this album somewhere recently. Do you think of the Foo Fighters as a supergroup?
I mean, technically they are, in that their members are from various bands, but I mean, every band has members from various bands.
But I feel like I'm saying, like, how super do your previous bands need to be a supergroup?
I almost feel like a supergroup is defined as a supergroup when it is less iconic and less known than the bands the members came from. Which you could make the case that Nirvana is a bigger known band than Foo Fighters, but I'd certainly say that Foo Fighters is a more successful band.
Do you need
than
to
Nirvana,
be
just in how long it's lasted,
right?
Which is a grim thing to say.
Like, do you need to have started your do the other parts of that supergroup need to still be continuing to exist?
No.
Like, can you quit your band? I guess they didn't. Maybe they didn't quit So what I'm getting at, because, the Foo Fighters, of course, is Dave Grohl.
Right.
This album, all the tracks were written by Dave Grohl, Nate Mendel, or Pat Smear.
Right.
Pat Smear was the touring guitarist for Nirvana, and he was in the Germs. Dave Grohl, of course, Nirvana. And Nate Mendel, and also their drummer before, though not the drummer on this album, William Goldsmith, were part of Sunny Day Real Estate.
Right.
Which is a iconic emo band, right? Yeah. So, and all the purists are, they're not emo, they're no, whatever.
Who cares? Whatever. Yeah, get over it.
But yeah, it is kind of like, at that time, I think Sunny Day Real Estate may have broken up. Obviously, Nirvana was broken up. So if your project that you are super grouping from broke up, or I guess I don't know. I guess the other side of that
I don't think it matters the status of the bands that the members came from, as long as those bands are well known enough for you to consider it a supergroup. If you know, like, all the bands that this new band are made out of, you're like, oh, that's a supergroup. I think we don't have to get into fine details. Like, it can be that simple.
And from that, I think I would probably make the argument that the Foo Fighters aren't a supergroup. But
I'd kind of say that they've become such a huge thing just by themselves that you don't need to think of them that way.
I would say, I think even at that time, at when they were out, when this album came out, or at least when I discovered this album, which was probably a little later, I only knew Dave Grohl was the drummer from Nirvana. I didn't know anything about any of these other guys.
Sure.
Well, I didn't learn about who Sunny Day Real Estate was until later.
So you haven't known until recently that they were a supergroup, and you're saying that means that they're not a supergroup.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying, I'd say not recently, but maybe I've probably only thought they were potentially a supergroup for 15 years.
All right. Do you have any interesting notes on this album?
I didn't take any notes.
Yeah, I had a really tough time taking notes because it's just what do you say about
this is
the songs of your childhood?
I think here's a thought, is this the best rock album of the 90s? I know there's a lot of rock albums out there. This has got to be in the top 10 at least, right?
That's tough, because you get early 90s and you get into your Van Halen's and your Guns N' Roses types of territories and stuff like that. I will say this is probably easily, I could say without feeling at risk, this in a top 5 alternative rock album of the 90s. I would die on that hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song off this album?
Oh man, that's tough. I boil it down to moments, because it's one of those things where the whole album it feels cohesive and it all flows together. Mm-hmm. And once you start listening to the first track, you got to listen to it as an album. You listen to the whole thing all the way through, and that's how I used to listen to it. I'd have it on a CD in my car, and I listen to the whole thing from point A to point B while I drive around, you know, to the beach, to college, you know, to
sure.
hang out with friends, whatever. Man, I don't, how do you even pick something that you like from beginning to end? That's tough, man. That's tough.
The correct answer is February Stars, by the way.
February Stars is so good. So good.
And it's got everything you want. It's a slow jam, it's a ballad, and then it just like wall of sound.
Like the vocal melodies, the hook element of the vocal melodies is just over the top all the way across this album, to the point where I'm kind of like, Dave Grohl, what's up with your more recent stuff? Like,
it is kind of.
I really, really like the first Foo Fighters album too, and then their later stuff started to lose favor with me. I was like, it's just not hitting the same. Maybe because I was getting older. It might be that. Maybe they're all equally good. I don't know, but
I feel like they kind of got like off and on. Like the album after this, I was met on the one after that one. So it's weird. Like, Learn to Fly isn't just one of my least favorite Foo Fighters songs. It's one of my least favorite songs.
All right.
I just can't get into it.
You don't like it.
But then I go to the next album after that, and I feel like times like these, melodically, instrumentally, is basically the exact same song as Learn to Fly, and I love that song.
A lot of times I get burned out on radio hits, and I prefer the songs that haven't been beat to death. But holy hell, when Monkey Wrench came on, I was listening to this today. Holy hell, what a song.
Yeah.
Damn it, Dave Grohl. You did it. So I don't what else do you say about it? Like, I sincerely want to, I'm not going to dog on anyone who has other opinions about this. I want to know in the comment section if you have another opinion about The Color and the Shape by Foo Fighters, or Foo Fighters in general. Like, lay it on me, man. Because it's really hard for me to objectively step away from this album that was so key to my adolescence.
I mean,
and me coming up in music and look at it in an objective way. It could be just riddled with errors and problems, and it's just a crap album to most other people. But to me, it feels like a perfect creation.
I think it's close.
It's really close.
It's got to be close.
Like, I can't think of any other 90s album like that where, like, once the first song starts, I need to listen to the whole album.
Yeah.
From beginning to end.
And it ends well.
Yeah. Oh, that last track.
Yeah.
There's that crazy, like, noise intro to it that you hadn't gotten on any of the other songs. What is the name of that last track? I can't even remember.
New Way Home.
New Way Home. Like, man. No, like, it's easy for me to trace my mentality towards music and towards songwriting and applying guitar to songwriting to this album as a key influence.
Yeah. I think I will say the one track when I was, and this kind of goes to that radio thing, the track that I think I didn't learn to appreciate until maybe like 5 years ago, My Hero. That was a song like
because it feels kind of like pulled back and like melancholy.
It's not even that. I think I just heard it so much.
Sure.
And I heard it so much, and it's kind of like it's a little draggy.
It does drag a little bit.
And I just never really I think there was a lot of hype around it. At least the story that I've always heard is that song was written about, that song was actually written, people claimed about Kurt.
Sure.
And, I was okay. I thought that was interesting, though. I guess people have actually said that, like, there's been some back and forth about what it was actually about, if it's just more generic. But yeah, I just, at the time, but I also know that I have this thing. I don't know if you have this thing. You don't know if you have this thing, because I
don't even know what this thing is yet. Do I have this thing?
There are certain songs that, like, I will associate with insomnia or being like, or like that I heard a lot when I was sick.
Sure.
Or whatever, that like for years, anytime I hear that song, I'm just like, I feel gross.
Like when I hear what's that Green Day song with the hardest stops, my eyes feel like they're gonna, is that Brain Stew?
Brain Stew, yeah.
When I hear that song, I flash back to the time when I took a little bit too much Ritalin in high school, and I was listening to that song, and it was a whole sensation.
There's a handful of like late 80s, early 90s country songs that I associate with laying in bed when I was like 7 years old and not being able to sleep.
You know the song Long December?
Yeah.
Long December.
Yeah. Long October.
That song came out like in the middle of me having, a teenage depression that probably lasted 12 hours or something like that. But like laying in my bed in the dark of winter, and that song comes out on the radio, and then they beat it to death because it was, a hit single. And it's like, yeah, man, it is a long December. Like, you're freaking 14. Buck up.
Yeah. Wait till it's 2020, kid.
Yeah, you don't even know what's coming.
Long December started in frickin' March, bruh.
That should be the theme song to 2020.
Oh, man.
Maybe we should do a freaking contest. Maybe we should do it. We're going to be muscling in on the Gearsums territory, but maybe we should do a covers contest.
We should do
cover Long December in December for the end of 2020.
We'll do it. Send us. This is our first episode of. Actually, this is our second episode of November.
Damn.
Right. Because
I guess technically
this is our second episode of November. Between now and I don't know mid-December, let's say like December 15th. Record your cover of Long December. For Christmas this year, we will release an episode that is only your guys' covers of Long December.
That's a really weird and bad idea, and I love it.
Let's do it. Maybe we don't do it for Christmas. Maybe we do it for we'll release it on December 31st.
Yeah, a New Year's.
Yeah, it'll be our New Year's episode. Let's do it. 60cyclehumcast@gmail.com. Dropbox it to us. Google Drive file. Attach an MP3.
YouTube link. Whatever. You
want YouTube?
If you send it as a YouTube link, I'll be able to download the audio. But I mean, MP3s are better to get it on the episode.
Yeah. If you send it as a YouTube link, I was gonna say if you send it as a video flat. No, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way to
hate this idea so much.
I'm trying to figure out a way to make a visual format to this. It should just be the two of us listening to covers of Long December for like 2 hours.
Sounds so depressing. I don't care who you are. If you turn it into a ska cover, you'll be my hero.
I'm pretty sure we'll watch you as you go.
How did we get on this from talking about Foo Fighters?
Because we're talking about how
nostalgic feels.
I was saying how like My Hero is a song that like I just reminds me of being sick for some reason.
Sure.
And it wasn't until a few years ago that like literally 5 years ago I listened to that song and I was like, nope, this song's brilliant. Sorry,
yeah,
this song is excellent.
Maybe I appreciate it more now that it's probably been a couple of years since I've listened to the album. Maybe it hit me so hard today because it's been so long and I am actually more detached from it musically, culturally, the time that I'm in now, and I can listen to it fully musically and be like, oh man, it's just so good. Like something you think of Foo Fighters and you're like, oh yeah, big, heavy power chords and Dave Grohl doing like a heavy rock vocal and stuff like that. There's so much like dynamic variety across this album, jumping from super soft, pretty acoustic sounds to that full on like hard rock flirting with hardcore and punk sorts of sounds.
There's a ton of and that's another one of those things where talking about it earlier that I read an article somewhere where Dave Grohl was saying how he was like for his own and for the Foo Fighters, like he was heavily influenced by like the DC hardcore scene.
Sure, yeah.
Which, so a lot of this stuff is those soft section followed by like a super big wall of sound. That's very much like a 90s Rites of Spring kind of a thing to do. And so, there's that. I used to try to make this argument and maybe you could almost do it more for their first album. Like Foo Fighters are almost, they were too popular for it, but they're like almost a proto emo band.
In a way,
like,
yeah. No, I could
it's like
pick up on that.
They were too popular for it.
But like, yeah.
Also, Dave Grohl's like his balls are too big for. He doesn't sing through his nose enough.
I could pick up on like some of those themes of like the musicality of it and the song structure of it. But yeah, he doesn't present as the way we think of emo now, for sure.
Yeah.
But like the DC hardcore thing, like totally, there's a full
it's like
connection
definitely
there.
like a punk and hardcore, like you're saying.
Yeah. But then combined with this 90s alt radio, college radio.
Man, I was almost
going
to say that you wouldn't like this album.
Really?
I just couldn't decide where to go.
Yeah. No, it's huge for me. That's an amazing album. And, you know, like I said, disagree with us. So,
So some housekeeping.
Housekeeping. Do you have any housekeeping
We
left?
don't, but if you want to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/60cyclehumcast, and you can support the show for as little as $1 a month or as much as you want.
Yeah.
We just started actually annual subscriptions, so if you want to sign up, annual subscriptions give you 8% discount, which is basically 1 month free. Buy 11, get 1 free.
If you're the type of person that wants to pay in one lump sum and not worry about recurring payments, because people have asked about that in the past.
Yeah.
Apparently there's an option now through Patreon, so go check that out.
Yep.
And maybe that'll be your Christmas gift to us.
If you
this holiday
there's
season.
other ways to support the show. We're going to play a song at the end, and after that we're out of songs.
You know what we should do? Is
We're out of songs until December 31st when we play all of your Long December covers.
We should play the Long December episode if we get enough songs. We should play the Long December episode while watching the Yule log video. Like you and I sitting back in like leather chairs.
Oh yeah.
Watching, you know, guitars burn while we sip on scotch or something like that.
Oh man, I could go for some scotch.
Would we be able to survive an hours-long episode of nothing but Long December covers? This sounds incredibly depressing. Ska cover, please. Someone.
I don't know, man.
If you've got a trumpet or a trombone, please.
It's 2020.
Pep it up, man.
It's 2020. I don't know. I think it almost might be uplifting. It might be cathartic.
Cathartic, yeah. It'll break the curse. It'll break the curse.
All right, this last ad was sent by Michael Lovett. This is a tough Guy Strat.
This is the toughest Guy Strat I've ever seen in my life.
I'm up for a trade or best offer. I've enjoyed it tons, but it's time to go to someone else. I will only reply to a phone call. This is a Super Strat 80 style shredder. It's made by Rockster, I think is the brand.
It's hard to tell because it's blurry, but we've seen a lot
Rockstar, maybe?
Graphics. I wouldn't be surprised if it is Rockster or Rockstar. We've seen a lot of graphics on guitars over the years. I've never seen a graphic so tough and masculine in all my life. Like, this is a guitar strictly for the toughest guys around. Fingerless gloves with spikes on the knuckles, busting through a brick wall, through a tear in the finish of the guitar. Oh man, this is a hardcore, manly, fisting action guitar.
So punched
hard.
Much guitar.
By the tone. When someone sees you playing this guitar, they're like, whoa, I didn't realize I was in for such a masculine treat.
This has a vintage Strat style bridge, but instead of the traditional 6-screw, this is a 3-screw.
Wow. That is really bad looking. It looks like the screws were replaced with drywall screws.
Oh, I was thinking those were wood screws.
That's possible
like
too.
Flathead wood screws.
Well, drywall screws are flathead too, Steve. Steve just showed that he's not very much of a man. He doesn't know what drywall.
I don't know very much about wood.
This guy over here doesn't know what drywall screws look like. Clearly, this guitar is too masculine for Steve.
Yeah. I've never punched through a wall while wearing a studded leather fingerless glove. I've never even owned fingerless gloves.
Steve punches through walls barefisted.
What an idiot.
Everyone knows the tough guy thing to do is put on fingerless gloves if you're going to punch through a brick wall.
This guitar is so tough that part of the humbucker ring is broken.
Yeah, it's been punched so hard and so many times.
There's no pick guard. That's how tough this guitar is.
This is honestly...
It doesn't need to be guarded from your pick.
Is there a price?
No, it's best offer.
Best offer. This is honestly so bad and so corny that it circles back around to really fun. Like, I would play this.
Are you gonna email? Are you gonna message Michael Lovett and be like, hey,
Go pick it up.
hey, here's my bid.
It's in Waynesville, wherever that is.
It's North Carolina. Come on, raise.
If this was local and your favorite band was still a thing, I would legit pick this up.
Of course you would.
As your favorite band guitar. This is perfect for your favorite band.
So dumb.
Extremely dumb in just the right direction. What it needs to have like a tough guy sticker on it too, with like the cartoon character that's like, yeah, I'm a tough guy. Or like a Calvin, like pissing on something.
Needs the old Bad Boy Club.
Bad Boy Club, that's what I'm talking about. Bad Boy Club. This is the kind of guitar that Mac from Always Sunny would buy.
There we go. This is the kind of guitar that is probably originally, it says Rockstar on it, but this should probably, you don't play this guitar through an amp. You know what you play it through?
What?
Or you don't play it through a Fender Twin. You play it through a Fender Double Dragon. Double Dragon. You remember that game? That was a video game reference, guys. I made a video game reference.
I don't know how it connects to Fender, but yeah, Double Dragon.
Well, because it's a Fender style, because Twin.
This is the perfect guitar for what's his name from Cobra Kai. Like he would look. This is the TV episode.
Yeah,
episode
you're
of the
making
podcast
another
guy.
TV.
Yeah, I'm thinking about watching TV after this. Apparently, no, he would see this guitar in a pawn shop.
Oh, have you seen the new season of This Is Us?
I haven't watched any of This Is Us. He would see this hanging in a pawn shop and be like, yeah, I'm gonna learn guitar, and that's a tough guy's guitar because I'm a tough guy, so I'm gonna buy that.
He's gonna learn guitar while drinking Coors Stubbies.
Yeah, exactly.
I bought a 12-pack of Coors Stubbies like a month ago.
Wow, you are a man.
Good choice.
That is a good choice.
Good choice.
I haven't had Coors in a while.
You know what else is good is and might be like, I think might actually be one of the best beers.
Here we go. Best beer.
Anchor Steam.
Anchor Steams are good.
Right?
They're really good.
They might be like maybe too malty if you're like, if you don't like malty, but
like
they're just so easy.
There's certain, like, if I'm having pizza, High Life me.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
If I'm having seafood, Anchor Steam me all day long.
There you go.
Picture me with Anchor Steam.
I'm gonna go home and have an Anchor Steam, I think, when I get home.
I'm talking any seafood. I'm talking from lobster table.
Lobster
tail, not table. Give me a table.
A whole table.
A table of lobster all the way down to fish sticks. I want Anchor Steam with it. You know?
I could go for a fish stick right now.
Gosh, just one fish stick.
I don't even know when the last time I had are you talking about like crappy Gorton's?
Here's the thing though,
in the oven fish stick. That's like the chicken nugget. Of
anything
fish
you bake in the oven is going to be gross. You get those same fish sticks. You fry them in a little oil.
I've never done this.
Super good. Take the extra time, guys. Oil fry your fish sticks. Okay. It makes all the difference.
But they were frozen.
It
How
makes
does that work?
all the difference. Yeah,
almost
everything you buy fried in a restaurant was frozen 10 minutes earlier, Steve.
Did you deep fry it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I deeply fry it. I don't like half-ass fry it, Steve. I don't half fry it. I don't shallow fry it. No, you just put some pan in a little pot and you cook it in oil for a little bit and get them crispy. Same thing with chicken nuggets. Oil fry your chicken nuggets. It's going to change the game. So that's been my food minute. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yep.
Let's listen to this song. Tell us about it, Steve, and we'll get out of here.
The song was sent by Adam Rohr. It's called Fred McGriff. I gotta open up my phone here. My headphones are stuck on something. That's fine. Whatever. I was just closing the iPad because I didn't turn off the parental controls earlier. We have parental controls on, so
you just started seeing like adult things pop up?
Yeah. No, I just it just started to it just gave me the 5-minute warning. We're gonna turn off in 5 minutes.
You had enough iPad time, Steve.
Here we go.
I'm buried deep. I hope you find a place where you can lay your head and to reside, a quiet place where you can set your fears aside. I'm buried deep. I hope you find a place where you can lay your head and to reside, a quiet place where you can set
pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked it. Adam, why is the song called Fred McGriff? That's my only question.
I like the big jumps in kind of style
Yeah.
between the various parts.
Yeah, no, that was cool.
Yeah, is that a jump in just straight tempo, or does it like a half tempo sort of thing? Like what is
I think
going
it's
on
just
there?
half. I think it's just the choruses were a halftime.
Like it feels very dramatic and it gets your attention for sure. And then when it comes back up to full speed again, it's like, damn, this is
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
Very effective. Good job, Adam.
And usually, I think you usually go from regular time to half, and this one went from half to regular.
Something like that.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. Good job. Bye, everyone. Stay grounded.
See ya.